To follow up.
Yeah, what do you think? Otherwise, Sand King jumps in and that's it.
Remaining.
Yeah,
not enough.
it's just not enough. I mean, he can't hit 4.
5 seconds remaining.
When you get the counter initiate,
Yes.
the way that your ulti works, like you want somebody to run in front, start the fight, which I guess DK does too, and
Really hit them while they're going for the eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they picked up 10 different heroes in their last picking for the last 10 games. Played a really wide range of heroes as well. Storm to Sven to Void to Lesh to Queen of Pain, which is one of them. But is that the right pick for this?
What trouble? Wonder if they do offlane DK.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
All good questions. Questions that we'll have to find out as we head into the game. But very quickly, let's go down the line. Alan, which way?
This OG draft is about the lanes, but I don't think they're going to get enough of an advantage. FNATIC.
Spirit Flax.
I'm gonna have to go with OG just because I like their draft better. Heroes I like. OG.
Okay. Well,
I'll go with FNATIC.
Okay, all right. Mixed bag of predictions here on the panel as we head into game number 1, ESL 1 Birmingham. Enjoy it, FNATIC versus OG.
OG versus FNATIC, game 1 of this best of 3. I'm Toby1, and I am here alongside Perch. We're hoping for a terrific game of Dota. The draft has already been done. FNATIC, it looks good, it looks strong, it looks evasive, it looks slippery. And OG, what does it look like, Kevin?
Well, it's that realm. Major's Phoenix is one of the staples, but he is not a hero that is often touched by other teams. But at least they do have some of their other comfort heroes. S4 and Dragon Knight is pretty solid. Big Daddy No Tail playing Lone Druid.
Yeah, can we actually have a closer look at that Lone Druid too? They picked it up in the first phase of their draft. They were very confident in grabbing something like this. And they had it even like before, like we had the camera view, which actually panned around the back of it, and you can see them just having it there at the very beginning of the selection. So how does it work with his kind of timing, with No Tail's role in this game as Lone Druid?
Well, typically what he does is he just goes in, into his lane matchup, wherever it ends up being, either mid or safe, and then he goes for something like a Helmet Dominator. He gets a lot of other aura items, and he kind of just provides some tower pushing and some lane stability and that kind of a thing. But this game, we might do something different. We started with a Wraith Band, which is a little bit atypical, so there's a possibility we might see a ranged Lone Druid here, which could create a different balance than what we were expecting to see.
OG are looking for that first blood, and they're probably going to get a Pile Die. Burrow Strike is out. Fly holding his ability point for now. As said, he just wants the last hit with the extra help. That is a guaranteed kill for OG, spilling first blood.
And they get the D ward because of this. A big gold advantage here going to Seb, but he's actually going to hold it for now. They might try to save this until later so that they can deny with a tango.
No, he ended up just using the Coiling Blade and got rid of it. Doesn't want to wait any longer.
Yeah, he realized that if somebody comes by during the laning stage and just attacks it once, it's denied anyway. So he actually just has to kill him now no matter what. But he was hoping to get a double tango out of it though.
I'm still waiting for that efficiency where you leave these type of things behind just an extra couple of seconds or past a point so you get the extra cash for it. Just like we were talking with the bounty runes earlier today.
I don't know if that would have given
for the +3, man.
He could. That was 10 seconds more blocking, so I don't know if that's worth it, but it's a good attempt to at least stand.
Well, the block actually got lost by EE, so that one range creep's going to put the creep wave right on the foot of S4, but S4, nice to see him in mid as the DK. Pile Die and EE is going to try and zone him out as quick as they can.
Yeah, so that they do end up pushing the lane a little bit, accidentally missing the block, but they've got this dual lane mid, so it's not really going to be the most typical lane matchup here. Dual lane on the top lane as well. It's Ember Spirit with Clockwork versus a Quam Sand King.
They're trying to burn off all that mana of Seb, but Jirax will be the other harasser. Down on bottom lane is the other point of attention, which is Universe as Underlord.
Wow. Instantly dead. Wow. He was at like half HP. JRX comes forward, lands a stun, and then they just right-clicked him like 3 times.
Yeah, you didn't even have the burst damage yet. Like, Seb went for the Shadow Strike level 1, so Abed, this is not the start the Fnatic wanted to have. 2-0 now for OG. They take the first blood, and they take the safe lane core.
That's something really nice about Queen of Pain in the offlane. She just has a really good animation, a really good nuke harass. I mean, Abed can try to dodge the dagger by using Sleight of Fist, but it's very difficult to do, and if he's not successful, he loses a lot of health.
And that's exactly what's happened. He leveled it up at the very beginning, doesn't have it. Pylaidai and DJ now on the top lane to protect Abed.
He does have a ton of regen, though. 2 mangoes and 3 sets of regen, so he was probably just getting a little bit ahead of himself, thinking that he was fine, but he was at half HP. They took the opportunity, and they get a huge kill.
JRX, Mango, being popped by Pylaidai, allows him to put the wall on top, but JRX will just burrow strike away. So, consumption is going to be high for Fnatic on this top lane to keep the aggression up.
It'll be fine, though. I mean, they've already got a kill. That's the second of their team. They've got a 1k gold advantage already. That's huge for them. 10 last hits on Dragon Knight somehow, despite being dual lane mid. Good for S4.
It was the panel were praising him before. This is just a guy who's just great at games in general, but that's why it's kind of nice to see him in that mid role. Yeah,
the only lane that's not last hitting well is the off lane for OG. Seb's only 2 and 3 with the Sand King on getting 1 last hit, so that lane's not going so great.
Universe getting a bit of a tan with that Phoenix.
That's actually one of the interesting things about Phoenix's game is that it is a 2v1 lane, and that makes Phoenix more effective as a hero. Whereas normally you're fighting a support or something and things don't go so well. But I think Fnatic maybe was thinking, all right, we'll just lane the Disruptor mid with the Morphling so that we can pressure Dragon Knight more and make sure that Morphling has a better game. And at the same time, Underlord's going to be fine because it's just a Phoenix.
Yep, Phoenix can't zone him out. That's the reason why you see no escape, no Icarus dive required. Top lane, Burrow Strike is out. Once again, Abed forced back a long way. Shadow Strike was on cooldown for Seb, so Abed able just to salve up and get back into the lane.
So while it gives him the ability to do this dual lane mid, the other issue is that Phoenix also has a game. Like, Phoenix doesn't care if he doesn't zone a hero. He just wants to limit their farm a little bit, get some pulls off, get some levels, and then Phoenix can be a normal hero. But if he's forced to like trade hits with enemies or try to dual lane or tri lane, they just can go really bad. So the fact that S4 is still getting super competitive last hits in this match, and Phoenix is going to have a decent start, I think this is a great start for OG.
Yep. This allows Fly to have that freedom you're talking about, but it's also the fact that Notel, with the extra cover behind, are you able to just rush up big item? Because I'm looking right now and he's going for the Dominator. Yep. Do you try and go Radiant style bear? Where do you put that investment of space for Notel?
Yeah, well, Radiance is an option here. I guess I'm not really sure how comfortable they feel with it. The Fnatic cores are very good at diving the backline, and if you go range lone Druid, that can be a huge issue. But the fact that he picked up an Aquila first makes me feel like that's going to be the build, because it's not like you want to transfer your Aquila over onto your bear. He might also just be thinking, it's going to accelerate my farm, gives armor to my bear, this is what I need for now.
It allows him to force the lane on bottom too, because he's already at the tier 1 tower. Envy's moved in towards the mid. He's got himself a nice blue glow, more than the Morphling normally has. Double damage rune. Envy waveforms up, and S4 cannot survive. The adaptive strike puts him down.
Really nice BKB, or double damage to grab in the laning stage like that. And they secure that big kill, so tough for S4. But he's almost level 5 at least. He's super tanky. Just a little bit of a nice rune.
In trouble. Burrow Strike is there. That's a level 1 Shadow Strike only, but kind of locked himself inside the cogs. Blink and Scream of Owls. So DJ stands his ground, tries to work with Abed. Gets the kill into GRX with a rotation to Pylaidai. They can make it work. Pylaidai's last attack flies across the trees and gets the kill. Forces the retreat of the Queen of Pain.
That's a little too bad for OG there. Kind of seemed like, did Sand King, oh, they had a sentry down that they used a D-ward. That's actually a little unlucky there for OG. Jerks goes for the Sandstorm, thought he was going to be fine, but when he realized he was being attacked, he was kind of just committed. He did have to do a right click, so just a little unfortunate for him. Queen of Pain not able to secure that kill either, so off lane is going all right. 16 last hits now for him, which is very close to the 17 of Abed.
Yep. It is kind of funny though when you look at the counter, like you get those Searing chains up on Seb, he gets in trouble but holds the blink. Very, very patient as Pylaidai was willing to glimpse him straight back in if he blinked early.
And DJ missed his cogs push though. If he was able to land that, it would have disabled Seb for just a little bit longer and they might have been able to secure the kill.
That's a big creep wave on bottom lane coming towards the tower. Disruptor's going to have to TP down for this too. Universe has been abandoning that bottom lane just looking to try and farm up inside the jungle instead. But this is that type of pressure early on. That gives you the extra cash, even forcing Parlay back underneath the tier 2 tower. The wall will come up, and he feels very happy down here with the entangle. Parlay will fall. Universe will begin the TP, but it was a little too early. He hadn't finished his regeneration yet, and Notel wants to keep the pressure onto Universe. The bottom tower, they already have to fortify for it.
Look at this advantage. I mean, what other hero can do this other than Lone Druid here? He got a little bit lucky there with the ensnare, and all of a sudden he kills the squishy low armor support, and he's just going to pressure and kill this tier 1 tower instantly in this game.
Yep, Universe wants to try and stop this. You can bring in more support. Can't TP and Pylai die, but they'll walk him in on the Raptor. Notel again getting in very deep. That's the reason on the Baron. Another route onto Pylai die. It's just not his day, but when DJ rotates over, this is huge for Notel because he'll go down. The tower does go down to the catapult of the Radiant side, but there's no resummon on that bear for a minute and a half.
It's a glimpse for sure.
But you do take the tier 1 tower. Yeah, there's no way for Fly to survive. Icarus time bound has the stick charges. Will even start to salve. Fly will survive when the rocket goes off target as well. They can't even cancel the salve.
Wow, that was such a good play by Fly. He baits out the glimpse, I believe, just by starting the TP, but that was a waste because then it allows him to dive away. Like, just super sick play there by Fly.
Still going to be a rough lane for them. So 66 seconds before you're able to get the bear back up. So Universe can feel a little bit more confident on the bottom. But as you mentioned, Lone Druid going to go for more of the single build, the range Druid build, as opposed to bear for now.
Everybody on FNATIC rotating up, but Jerix has got a great ward down. Spots the rotation from Disruptor. Clockwork's in position. They don't see him necessarily, but they may realize shortly. Oh yeah, they've got a second ward now spotting him, so they know where everybody is here. Yep. They could maybe try to get a kill here, but it's going to be a counter initiation by Jerix for that to work.
Clock shows himself, walks straight past it. They realize this isn't on. They look for the 8-minute runes instead. So Fly is watching the bottom. No more double damage rotating in. Oh, I say that. It's actually a double damage for Envy, but it may be too late. The Clockwork, the Twilight Eye will be down the river. So he'll end up going down. But more fling. A double damage route on Envy. Already been rather successful this game, not to mention this whole tournament.
It's not a bad moment for OG. They're just about 2k up right now. Seb is level 6 in the offlane, so any of these ganks that happen, he can definitely rotate for these rotations. They've got plenty of disable on their side. They just need a little bit of damage, and he's going to be able to facilitate that once he's got his TP off cooldown.
Some damage on mid. Universe mid as well, with that dragon form up. But not really in...
He might kill Abed top. It's really close. He was very low. He might have been able to kill him right there, actually, with his ultimate, but...
Maybe waiting for the flame guard to dissipate.
Well, it does pure damage, right? So it would have cut right through him. There's a good chance he would have killed him there. And Abed's only level 5 right now, so if he doesn't pick up 6, other than Sleight of Fist dodging something, Seb should be able to guarantee this kill. So if he gets disabled right now, Abed goes down.
This may be a little bit easier kill. DJ doing his thing once more. We tried it. More down when Durex dies. DJ begins the TP. They need the damage to kill him. So Seb had no other choice but to commit the Sonic Wave.
I'm a little unsure if I like that move. I really wish he would have just secured the kill on Abed instead. It's a core, it's an Ember Spirit. Getting the kill on him would have slowed him down a lot more. I mean, he still is being very zoned, and he's going to be forced to rotate out a little bit here, but either way, a successful play for OG. They're still going to control the lane. They're getting last hits, and they might be able to get a tier 1 out of it as well.
The amount of pressure that Notel's applying. So Pardai shows himself. Eternal Envy arrives with a double damage rune still active. And he turns in. He takes his Hellbear, he takes his Bear, his Spirit Bear, and then just goes at it. This will be an easier target if he can attack in a Pylai Die, looking to secure the 10-minute bounty rune up in 10 seconds. But Root once again, Pylai Die just cannot catch a break. The Lone Druid Bear will do the work. Savage Draw, Lone Druid cannot create enough space to survive. With the movement of Abed down, they do get the kill onto Lone Druid.
Abed going for bounty runes here. It looks like an aggressive game, but I don't think OG's too unhappy with that either. No-Tail gains a very slight gold lead.
Oh, Universe. He's got a haste rune, so actually no, he's perfectly fine.
But he doesn't want to get up top here, and he wants to stop this tower from being taken right now. Like the nice thing about what No-Tail's doing is he's forcing all these FNATIC rotations to the bot lane to defend against him, just farming well and pressuring. But getting picked off is not the best thing. He did get the kill first, but
Glimpse, pull in the DK, put him inside the storm. S4 will try and tank through, maybe with the help of the Thunder Ray. No, it is still not enough from Fly. He can do some burn damage to DJ and Abed. So have to be careful. This mid wave is going to double up because Notel took the Hellbed there and actually dragged the creep wave out.
He's got to be a little careful. He's trying to get a root on Envy here. could potentially set up a kill, but it's very burstable still, and it's going to be a while until he gets tanky. But basically, OG's just stabilizing their lanes. They've got a level 6 on Phoenix as well now, so their team fight is going to be really solid.
They have the amplification too, which comes from that offlane Queen of Pain. Went for the first Adam Veil of Discord.
Cool. Yeah, it's a little uncommon right now, but for an offlane hero, I think this is fine. For mid heroes, they usually don't buy it because it's just a little bit too expensive and it doesn't amplify your ultimate. So it's just okay. But in this game, when you have a Phoenix as well, you're going to be amplifying all of that Sunray damage. Pretty much all their heroes are super benefited from this.
Here's the smoke movement from OG. They need Durax to connect on that stun. The target, Highlight die, gets the wall up. Here comes Seb with the jump forward. Dragon Tail stun. Disruptor is removed from the fight. Not wanting anything to do with it, but Universe. Say hello. He comes in with the Dark Rift. That tower is within deny range, but they know also bring him in the killing range of OG. They do not take it, not bottom lane. Notel took the tier 2 tower. He has been continuously pressuring this lane. And I beg the question, is this the strat from OG? Always keep one player from FNATIC looking at bottom, so they're always one player down for the fights when the 4 men rotate from OG.
Well, they weren't looking bottom that time. I mean, the fact that they got the Disruptor was huge because that's the one hero that can guarantee that No-Tail gets vastly out of position for a moment, unless it's like Ember Spirit diving. And now they rotate top. They get this kill, huge blow up, killing Abed here. Now they can push the top lane. They've still got Dragonite ultimate. They just got so much value out of the last 4 minutes.
Cannot believe the rotations that are just hitting the timings from OG, and it seems like FNATIC are not seeing it coming at all. And they'll see even less with these aggressive wards from OG. They have a lot of information. So harder for FNATIC to surprise him. DJ has hook shot.
Very
but he needs the range.
He's got to have vision as well. He doesn't spot anything here. And as long as No-Tail doesn't shift into his own jungle, they're not going to find him.
As No-Tail actually just puts the Satyr as well as the Spirit Bearer in front of him, he'll only hook minions.
And if anything, if we look at the dire wards right now, they're placed in positions where OG has never been, basically. They haven't really defended bottom that much, mostly because it's always been pushed out. And then they just had so much aggression going on other places of the map that FNATIC didn't even get to cross the river. So these wards that FNATIC wanted to use weren't able to be used. And therefore, their engagements and fights are just less likely to go well. So it's maybe part of the reason OG has just been so successful with the last couple of rotations.
Looks like FNATIC are finally committing multiple resources to this bottom lane to try and catch No-Tail, but he just sits in the trees, lets the bear do the work. DJ and Pilot don't find their target, while OG, they find theirs. Look at that amplification. The Ember Spirit, he's meant to be difficult to kill, but right now, it looks easy as pie.
He didn't even get his flame dart off, actually. That was a big move. Probably would have still died even if he does, but yeah, he's not going to be tanky for a long time, and he's not that leveled either. Level 8 at the moment. So their heroes can't stabilize their lanes, whereas on OG's side they can. An interesting build from S4 as well, picking up an Armlet this game.
Yeah, why do you think that too? Like when you run that mid instead of going for the normal initiation we've seen from DKs? Well, do you like this?
I think I do, and there's a couple other alterations as well. See, he's also skipped a Soul Ring. I don't think any Dragonite has done that recently.
Especially when they run mids.
Exactly, they almost always get Soul Ring, just gives them more mana. But what's cool about this is that if you get Soul Ring and you get the mana perk, it actually feels like a waste. So in that sense, the other perk, the 20% Breathe Fire damage reduction, that's also not great. It's really good against Morphling, I suppose, but if he skips Soul Ring, he gets the mana perk, so he's covered around mana, and then he just buys a damage item to make up for the fact that this hero just doesn't do good damage otherwise. It makes a lot of sense.
It's working a charm for OG. So did the attack on bottom lane. No-Tail roared up, did a little bit of damage, almost 200 damage to that tier 3 tower, but forced all of FNATIC to come down bottom. And while that was going on, OG were TPing multiple players to the top lane. So they've taken the tier 1 tower, they have burnt up the dragon form, but FNATIC are looking for a kill. All they're finding are bears and satyrs. And all this information, No-Tail, we know he's a micro master. He doesn't need observer wards. All he needs to do is just have more units under his control.
He's actually just playing insane this game.
He's going to take the 15-minute rune. Yeah, he gets it.
Very little loss for him there, as long as he's bear. I mean, he's got to resummon even if that goes down. Man, he is actually just running circles around FNATIC so far this game. This is incredible. This is why everybody bans Lone Druid in the first phase against OG. Every game that I've watched them play this tournament, I've seen that happen, and it makes a lot of sense right now.
Yeah, they first phase, it'll be a wonderful thing to jump on for game number 2. For now, the bear is going to drop. A lot of spirits being committed by Abed.
All 3. He's got no mana as well. Like, he actually, if there's a fight down here, he's screwed. He can't do anything. There's no arcane boots. He's actually just limited just to kill the bear. It gets resummoned, and now maybe No Tails can be able to defend it even past that.
Yeah, does OG fight it? The first TP is coming in, and then the Clockwork gonna cog up, but he's locked inside with the bear. Zeb rotates over. That's a great Sonic Wave position if he wants to let it rip for now. They're just letting DJ fight. Arbet begins his TP. Savage Roar not available, so DJ not focused onto him, going forward with a bit of a Shadow Strike. DJ will tick out from this. Nothing will save him from that level of damage, even with the TP. It's not going to happen. No Tail gets it.
Like, I can't believe what's just been happening these last 2 minutes. We're just looking down here. Lundruid is just playing with 4 heroes. They look like they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know. They can't find pressure. They can't find opportunities.
And you see where he's only been. Like, Lundruid has only been on that bottom lane. That heat map just shows it. There's no reason to go mid or top. It is all bottom.
If there's a heat map of his creeps, it's just the same thing, but a little bit towards the center of the map. Just constantly looking for enemy heroes. And in the meantime, S4 is getting tons of last hits, and the Queen of Pain is mostly farming as well. She's already picked up a Veil of Discord and a Yule Scepter, so now she's also defensive. If she gets Static Stormed, if she gets rooted, she has some solutions.
No Tail able to switch into a little bit more of a tankier form. Can he survive this? Need a Savage Roar begins the TP when they bring him down. Pylai die with the Storm doing the work. But the trade-off is there, so they commit multiple heroes to kill Lone Druid. That's great, but S4 is taking tier 2 tower top. And if you hang around Eternal Envy, death may be coming your way. Jirax doesn't have Blink Dagger, so close the distance is harder, but friends are on the way too. Dark Rift, Underlord arrives.
A little underwhelming, just one hero popping in, but
yeah,
and they got some tower damage, but not that much. So it does seem like a lot of this game kind of relies on whether or not No Tail gets caught. In that engagement, he finally did get picked up, and that's part of the problem. If you play around these common ward spots, they're going to spot you. They're going to be able to outmaneuver you. Your creeps can't spot everything. So if he just stays alive, it creates all the space for where FNATIC wastes their time. If he does get caught, then all of a sudden it opens up the map in a big way, and then OG has to play defensive for a bit.
So how does it work with all the money going into Eternal Envy? He is still looking pretty good, second on the net worth. Many times have we seen EE being the main man of the show just because of all the farm priority that's given to him. How does he function going into these fights against OG?
Well, I think he's in a pretty good spot. I think against Lone Druid, you're happy as a Morphling once you get something like E-Blade because you can hit the backline, you can jump in and focus fire on him, try to kill him. You can waveform in and blow up the Phoenix egg. Basically, anybody that's disabled, Morphling's going to show up and deal a ton of damage. And that's why he's rushing BKB this game, because there's so many good, strong AoE teamfight things that OG has. He needs to know that he's going to be able to jump in and just do a ton of physical damage and burst somebody down when FNATIC finds an opportunity.
FNATIC are looking for that opportunity over in mid, over on bottom. There was the mid opportunity. Actually, no, they do. They rotate over, put the Storm down. They don't want Flying to have any kind of... He knew that Jirax was looking for a kill because he walked underneath one of the sentry wards. The FNATIC plays down.
It's a decent kill, but still only a support, so I don't think OG's too unhappy with that one.
It's the money for the BKB is I think the more critical thing for Eternal Envy. That's why he committed Waveform and Adaptive Strike to get the cash.
We're gonna be coming.
Yeah, here he goes towards the mid. Support, friends. Jirax just saying hi and running away with dust in the eyes of FNATIC.
So I think part of the reason, it looked very confusing, I think part of the reason he did that was just to push the lane. Because he knows he doesn't yet have Blink Dagger, but by going for an Epicenter there with a Burrow Strike, there's like maybe a small chance, I didn't see his HP at the start, but there's a small chance that he catches him before he starts morphing. If he doesn't, maybe he kills him, but also he kills the creep wave, which means Envy has to sit there and slowly auto-attack creeps, and then eventually by the time that's finished, everyone's up, and it's not that big of a loss. So I don't think that was all too bad for Jirax. He's much closer to Blink Dagger after getting that wave, and they just create a little bit more space, and once they have Blink on Sanking, they can actually just start blowing heroes up all over the map.
That's when Envy has to really come online. The BKB is completed. Looking for Skadi as his next item after that.
Yeah, he's just got to focus on heavy physical damage, gap closing, and making sure that they kind of remain near him when he does initiate. So not so much blast build with the E-Blade.
No Tail got more information. He's got no observer wards on that bottom lane, but compared to the two that FNATIC has. Oh, there is a resummon for it, so it's good cash, 300. Putting into the bank accounts of Arbet, that'll give him his BTs.
They'll be happy with that for sure.
I've been waiting for.
Once he finishes Boots of Travel, now he's going to be able to offset all this split pushing a little bit better. Show up to team fights. He's got a veil of his own, so
they're smoke ganking. OG's coming down to bottom lane. No-Tail, Pylai die. He's hoping for the glimpse, and they've got it. The observer board gave the information. So into pair 4. Orange just wants to survive the virus. Right from G-Rex. Ready to face the Savage Roar. Still not enough. Set wild ultimate. Flies out the side. You've at least got the one kill. It's onto Eternal Envy. And then with the extra scream, the damage control on the back lines, the rest of OG want to get into this universe, wants everybody out. It's a FNATIC special. The Uber trade all the way home, taking 3 players, the ones that survive from FNATIC.
Just a super sick play from Seb, actually. He jumps in and he takes advantage of the full agi from Eternal Envy. Pops his BKB, but that doesn't matter at all against Sonic Wave. And I think Envy is maybe one of the more agility morphed Morphlings that I feel like I see. He very often plays on that edge. And in that moment, his 4,000 gold item, the first thing he rushed was nullified, and his greedy playstyle was super punished, and they get more out of that as a result.
Now Blink, here we go again. Gank up all across the map is what you asked for. G-Rax, he gets the epicenter off. Universe can be way too slow to get away. So another kill. Seb jumps in for the Securus, the Queen of Pain style.
So Phoenix really working out well. I mean, the Fly's 1-1 and 5 at the moment. Sunray is just always going to be good against high HP heroes like Underlord because it does more damage as he gets higher in health. And it took a lot to kill that guy, but they didn't even have the Veil there. So, I mean, if you can deal with Underlord like that, if he doesn't ever feel comfortable pushing out a lane because he knows he's going to get chain stunned for 5 seconds with a ton of damage, then all of a sudden it just limits what FNATIC can do, and they're going to feel forced to 5-man more often. If OG doesn't have that same weakness themselves, then they're just constantly going to feel better about pushing lanes.
Why do I just feel like OG feel better about every single lane? No-Tail pushes slightly near the river line, and FNATIC commit 2 TPs to come down to the bottom lane to try and catch him out. Yes, there's no tier 1 tower. They're still trying to TP down to, but it's the space that's being created with G-Rax pushing out top. He already had the Blink Dagger. You can start adding the Force Staff quickly into his inventory. The Blink Dagger's on DK, so initiation arrives on that front.
I mean, most of this just feels so good for OG because No-Tail's dodged so many of these rotations. They've been controlling the jungle as well. I mean, he's only died, I think, he's got 4 deaths here, but it feels like there's only been like 2 really crucial catches that have been not worth it.
Jumping in, Blink Dagger with the stun. They want Disruptor gone. Eternal Envy's BKB. He's doing the damage right now to S4. The room will control of Pylai die. The Sonic Wave doesn't spill out to the back, so he'll end up surviving. While FNATIC, they will try and make it to G-Rax glimpse back into the fight. So it will, in fact, be the first reveal of the Blink Dagger. OG won the quick kill, and FNATIC responded very quickly.
Yeah, it was actually a really sick fight from Envy there. He jumps in instantly, he turns into Dragon Knight, and all of a sudden Dragon Knight's countered because he went Armlet first for the damage, then he went a Blink Dagger, and allowed him to initiate. But with Morphling responding so fast there, he instantly transforms, stuns the Dragon Knight back, and then Dragon Knight just has to sit under a Static Storm with Armlet on for like 10 seconds. It was just a little bit too fast of a reaction, and the BKB from Morphling really paid off there.
Yep. That's exactly what FNATIC needed to relieve some of this pressure. It's been going up for OG with gold and experience. The graphs start to angle a little bit further back down again. That's a sharper angle on the experience graph. But things start to balance out, and this is that space to create. I heard the word greedy as far as the 2 cores of FNATIC go. Universe, he's heading down south. They're looking to try and find this one. They glimpse fly back over. Pardai does not have the storm control. Hookshot's off cooldown in 1 second time. So DJ ready to jump. The G-Rax, Burrow Strike, Sunray, Arbed wants to help him out, but DJ, too much of a tan. The attack, he's burning out the Urn Charge. Will do the final bit of the work while Universe stranded. More playing King of the Hill does not help you here. The rest of his teammates will have to abandon. 2 heroes will go down for FNATIC after such a great fight in mid.
Fly played that really well there. He knew that the Static Storm wasn't up because it was just used in the mid lane. He did not have to egg. He did not have to panic or anything like that. And just a little bit of an over chase there by FNATIC to try to follow up on that.
They're going Roshan, OG. They want to secure the first Aegis of this game.
It's a great opportunity. Dead Underlord, so they've got no Pit of Malice. They've got no Firestorm. They have no Crimson Guard Pipe. Those are huge items.
No Hookshot and Clockwork either to try and spoil the day.
That's a great point.
You have Ember Spirit. You have Morphling. These BKBs. Well, I say these BKBs. 1 BKB is up. Slide of Fist to begin with. The Baron slow. Flyers giving it slide back over. Blink Dagger forward in from S4. And they'll actually get the Disruptor this time. They work so hard to get the ultimate of Burrow Strike from G-Rax. It actually gets the perfect stun. Envy up the hill. He'll get the BKB off.
Very close. Grabbing that MB kill would have been huge, but either way.
Full step too close. Your step is up, but S4. It was almost a track with the Sonic Wave connecting. Eternal Envy. He wants to jump back out. There's one waveform will help him do so. Phoenix resets the Nova. Goes full duration.
They poke just a little bit, but either way, they're still going to feel happy. They just got like kill after kill after kill.
DJ's got off, but he's right underneath the radiant observer. They see him so clearly. Burrow strike in. The tick damage is there. DJ rather tanky, but a hook shot out towards the Ogres. And there's someone else. OG to claim the Ogres team more than put into Seb's hands.
They're just getting everything they want out of this. They're playing amazing on OG's side. Just instantly coming out of the pit when it's the right time, going back in, spreading their heroes there to grab the clockwork. It's like they're mindful of every single cooldown on the enemy team and moving across the map accordingly.
Yeah, this is a great sign if you're an OG fan, seeing such life and coordination and precision coming out from this lineup. I'm feeling even just happier to watch Notel play a hero where I'm like, man, this guy's really talented as a player, can showcase this talent.
And you know he's having a great time doing it too.
Oh yeah.
This is one of his favorite heroes for sure.
He was dancing as he was walking through the crowd up towards the stage. They were smiling, they were laughing, and this is going to be a confident OG, a very scary thing.
So there's a couple interesting item possibilities coming up. Well, I guess I didn't even realize that this was on the radar, but S4 did have BKB in the last fight, and he's now 1,700 gold towards his next item. That means this is going to be a carry Dragonite for sure.
He needs heals. He needs some time outside of this storm. He gets it off. Blink Dagger and Aegis. Can he get out in time? Nope. Universe already has the Pit of Malice down, so but actually, friends, they're coming from both sides. That's a double damage. Morph again. No, just waves in, turns in towards Queen of Pain, and goodbye, Seb.
That was a really good play there by Envy. He used super strength more in anticipation of approaching there. They knew they're out of disable, so he guaranteed the long duration stun. Really nice. And I do think Seb should have probably used a bit earlier there to stop some of the damage, but I think he was anticipating that he would get Pit of Malice or some other disable afterwards and just slightly out-mind gamed him.
Yep. Well, FNATIC, downside about their lineup, they are really terrible at pushing. Morphling at least can clean up creep waves, but the Ember Spirit and beating into towers is a lot harder. Blink Dagger towards the north. He already had the strength up. There's 2.9k HP on a Morphling, but Waveform TP away will mean that OG feel a little bit more confident on that top lane.
Sort of just doing this to be annoying, more or less. And across the map, OG just continues to spread out, get the things accomplished that they need to. I really do like the BKB rush from Lone Druid here. It kind of just allows him to do what he was doing before, but there's so much less threat of him just easily being killed by a glimpse, for example. He's going to have to trade these charges often in these early fights, but as he transitions into items that actually do something, such as the Maelstrom that he's going to pick up next, it's going to still allow him to be pretty independent and look for enemy heroes. It's one of the really nice things about this ranged Lone Druid thing. If he's farming Lone Druid with like the Spear Bear having a Radiance hypothetically, the bear always has to be where the creeps are, and that's not where the heroes are going to be. So this way, he gets to hit creeps with his hero, and his bear gets to look for danger.
Yeah. I also love too, he's holding on to the Santa Banisher. Like, makes it a little bit more difficult for Nine to have a fight, especially when, okay, Pilot Eye will see it. No attack back. Top tier 2 tower will be lost for FNATIC. They have no desire to fight into this. Yeah, maybe Ember Spirit, Searing Chains, but then Savage Roll. Bear gets a swipe, and DK's already starting his TP. Arpep, do you have a way out of this one? Slide of Fist? Okay, well, you can send back the DK. That'll work. Disruptor's still in range, so DK's on top lane once more.
That's nice push there by Highlight Eye. They didn't want to commit the BKB. There's a chance they could get the kill on Ember Spirit, but he gets back, and now they're just going to kind of resume the split push in that they're already accomplishing. And luckily for OG, they didn't overcommit to this.
But right now, I'm seeing FNATIC actually committing abilities just to try and kill off that Santa Banisher because they're not finding heroes in the right, well, out of position.
I mean, that's 200 gold. That's 2/3 of a bear. That's a lot of money. They'll be happy with that.
Epicenter preps up from Jarrett, and that strike forward. Sonic Wave, and he just goes through him.
That was very close, man. He was about to jump away if he had Remnant. Yeah, he did have a Remnant down, actually. I feel like I even saw his hero turn just a little bit, but just enough damage, gets the kill. Veil helping out with that one as well, and more items are to come here. They've got the Ultimate Orb. There's Seb's 500 gold from a Hex. And this is like terrible territory to be in as an Ember Spirit.
And they're getting more captures, keep bringing down these buildings. The DJ cogs up, locked inside with the bed. Notel's nearby, but a Steering Spiral Strike finding Pilot Eye. The TP out will not be successful. They send him up in the air just in time. So DJ, his TP, won't be successful. He'll go down.
Man, they're just super outmaneuvering FNATIC now. They're getting pressure on the enemy heroes. They're avoiding ganks and keeping their cores alive. And they're just moving, they're just dominating the middle part of the map.
They've taken all outer towers within 30 minutes, have reached a 10,000 gold advantage.
Hex is ready if they can find Envy here. He's got Lincolns though, so it's going to be a little bit tough to break it.
They're going to crack it. Well, they still got the Hex off. Follow up Dragon Tail stuns and all that BKB immunity which Eternal Envy wants. He can use right now. The waveform's down, but DK stays with it. They have the damage available, but maybe not. Strength bomb up to 3k. That's a lot to get through. And OG, they know they want it. It would have been huge if they did, but still, they're pushing the mid lane. They've got so much defensiveness from the Morph Link. They're taking time to reset FNATIC.
Because he doesn't have BKB, this does give them a little bit of a moment to pressure, but I don't think they want to super commit. They're just going to do a little bit of the split push thing. No Tail hits top a little bit. He'll run away now. Maybe wait to re-engage. He's still got BKB as well.
It's the only special attack from multiple sides. Top as well as mid, and FNATIC have to make the choice. Like, how do they defend this?
It's so hard, and they just keep the mobile heroes in the middle. Queen of Pain's between both lanes. The Phoenix is between both lanes. That means whoever gets gone, and Sand King as well. They just got these two cores that push buildings. All the mobile people stand in the middle, and they can always react to what happens. Such a cool playstyle here.
And they're already out. TP away to safety. DK goes to fix up the bottom lane. The catapults were hitting it. So the tier 2 tower is within deny range. But considering the control that OG have got over this map, they do not need to deny this. They can just keep that bottom lane pushed out. It's been the home of Notal for so long. Glimpse, pulling back SK. Oh, the hook shot, it actually connected, but Chirac's able to blink and burrow away to safety out of range of DJ before the damage could connect.
I think he just Burrow Strike dodged that Glimpse, I'm pretty sure. I don't even think he used Blink there. That was just perfect timing.
I love to see it in slow motion. I think what he was able to do was actually Burrow Strike in and then blink out before the damage connected from Clockwork Hook. And yeah, okay, so let's see it again. So Blink comes off, it's actually put on cooldown by Pylite Eye. Yeah, Blink comes in and Burrow Strikes out, but what the hell did the hook connect onto?
Okay, so basically the Sand King Burrow Striked on the ground, and while he was traveling from the Glimpse point to there, that's where the Clockwork Hook hit. But he was basically under the ground, so the hook shot connected. But Sand King still goes to his end position. That's why I dodged the Glimpse, because he always goes to his end position at the end of that Burrow Strike. So.
Thank you, Dota 2 mechanics, and thank you, Purge.
That was a weird instance for sure, but successful escape there, and that might give them a little bit more space. Another failed gank for FNATIC, another bit of wasted time, and their cores keep getting farther and farther ahead. Dragonette's getting very close to his Orchid finishing. Quap is now ready for his 4th item, which he's going to begin working on.
His BKB as well as his final item.
It's time. I mean, he's got a way to disable and gank heroes. He's got a second way to break Lincolns now with the heroes first. So everybody on FNATIC's side is vulnerable. The only one that's not as vulnerable is Underlord, but we've already seen they've got enough damage. They've got enough mobility. They can pile on this guy and kill him if they really need to.
Yeah, but Underlord is that big one. So when FNATIC grouped up together, they have the ability to survive. You've got double BKBs on the core, so Ember Spirit's now finished up his 10-second BKB. You've got the full Crimson Guard pipe as well as mech on the Underlord. So it's a lot of sustain that he can give his entire team, not just himself. Pylite Eye, TP won't be successful. The Observer Ward saw around the tree line.
Wow, that was the only way they get that kill. The Disruptor's HP is a little too high, so what Jarek did was force the Dragon Eye, get him in range of the stun so he doesn't have to commit his ultimate, and they get another kill. But Pylite Eye feeling like, I need to get some wards on the map. He got out of the base, he got some wards down, but he does end up dying for it. That's 25 seconds without a disruptor. So more lane push is what they're going to trade this for.
And here they come.
If they hit some buildings here.
Lone Druid in through the top. Dragon form for the mid. Now Sparkle the Bear with the Mjolnir. And the Dragon is just destroying the mid lane. No fortification of L for the Dire side. They'll buy back on Disruptor. The Hex already been committed into Universe. Speaking of him, he actually burns his Crimson Guard too, but TK does not care. Maybe he will care a little bit more. Hookshot, they forced off him into the cogs, but with that Sun Ray, no, the cogs pushing back. Fly came a little bit too close. Eternal Envy fighting toe-to-toe with Dragon Forms. Not to mention, Seb has no more Sonic Wave. The damage has already been spilled and didn't do enough. FNATIC, they hold their racks and they keep their life looking pretty good.
But they did lose 2 of their tier 3 towers, so I'm going to say that's a still worthy trade for OG. And they didn't even kill the second bear either. The bear gets resummoned here. Nobody goes down, just some BKB charges. Not a big loss there for OG.
Yeah, OG will now probably look to clean up a little bit more of this map. If they can take that shrine, it'll be terrific. But they just don't know where FNATIC is. No Observe Wards inside the base. They just have the one slightly outside, and it's a smoke gang from FNATIC. They are looking for their target. And once again, I think it's Notal, but once again, Notel's already running away.
He
Leaves the bear on the high ground, and yeah.
His BKB is on cooldown though, so that's the one advantage that they have, that they can actually gap close to him. They can go for these kills here. And Abed also having his fresh BKB means that he doesn't have to worry about Savage Roar. If they can lock down No-Tail and pull off this kill here, it would have been great. But in that moment, OG does play it safe. They've got great wards, basically encompassing the outside of FNATIC's base, and they haven't spotted their heroes. So they knew something was up, they sit back, and now they're going to safely push out the lanes again, and then try to go for some split pressure on the mid and top racks.
Yep. And then end game objective, high ground. They can do it with Roshan. He'll respawn in 7 seconds. So this will be both Aegis and Cheese as we have the second Roshan. Probably another reason too why FNATIC is outside the base looking for something. If they can catch OG in a vulnerable position, this would be the dream for them, but they can't even keep vision. That gem of Jirax, they're taking everything that FNATIC has away.
And even getting kills is going to be so difficult here. I mean, S4 is insanely tanky now. He's got the level 20 perk with the Armlet. He's got a Bloodthorn, so if he ever actually attacks
them... If they had the E-Blade pop, they need to summon to SK. He's just sitting there. They hookshot forward. They're going for fly. They're reaching the back lines, trying to keep Phoenix out of this fight, and they do find the kill. So Morphling, with his BKB, was able to kill off the SK, stealing the gem. Colg's pushing everyone out of Roshan, and it's just a full runaway now. Glimpse onto the Underlord, actually, sorry, onto Queen of Pain, pulling him away. And Universe just has to outrun this. The stun fall from DK. Disruptor, can you do anything to help? Another wall, anything? Nope. It looks like they'll just let the Underlord die. And they may have more problems. Envy gets through the fire strike from Jirax, just off target. But they're coming in through the top lane. Creep wave's already there. Lone Druid ready to push. While the DK does the mid lane, once again, FNATIC, they just don't have the numbers to defend against two different flanks.
They don't even have all their ultimates either. They've got hookshot at about 10 though. They can maybe jump in and blow up Sand King again. That's gonna be his dieback, but everybody's so tanky here.
Melee one down. Range rush going down. They initiate in. Now to S4. They have enough. Down goes the Dragon Knight. But so does the top racks. OG in full retreat.
That was the best they could get out of that. Both of the cores on OG's side had BKBs there, so Chain Stun was their only solution. They were able to steal Dragon Tail, obviously, and follow that up with enough damage, but that's the best they could hope for there. So at least they get one core kill out of it, and that's going to buy them 60 seconds. But losing the full set of racks, not the good position to be in, but it's going to buy them a little time at least.
Do they have enough time to get out and do Roshan? Like, do they have enough damage to actually do that against OG while DK's down?
Maybe.
Actually, then again, they don't know if he's got buyback or not. Like that.
But FNATIC can also be on the aggressive now because they know they can actually get a grab here. If they can take a fight, get a kill here, that's 2 dead heroes. That could give them the chance to take Roshan. So this is the best time by far to try to snag a kill.
Well, they have the Observe Ward watching No-Tail farming inside their own jungle. DJ lining up for the hook shot. The Creep Wave will die. Here goes the Rocket for the extra information. Glimpse back, BKB committed. But meanwhile, Morphling dies in the mid lane. They wanted this kill on No-Tail, but I don't think they got enough friends to do it. The Spirit, okay, yeah, Abed doesn't want anything to do with it. DJ, he's burning in the sun. 2 heroes lost for FNATIC. Envy going on his own gank in the mid while the rest of FNATIC were headed north. And Jirax once more. Fire strikes out towards Universe. Double buyback here from FNATIC. They do not want to let Roshan go.
OG's got to feel really good about that. They knew that their opponents were going to be trying to punish that opportunity. OG controlled a lot of wards on the mid lane, anticipating this, and what happened was they Envy Center Blink Burrow Striked on Envy before he was able to get his BKB off or Morph off, using most likely the Force Step on Sand King to break the link. And so it's basically just like a Phoenix dive and Jirax instantly killing Morphling. So huge play from Jirax to pick him off while the rest of the fight went well for them. So they're just in a great position. They've got a gem again as well. This great ward is still spotting them, although they haven't checked that spot. So on the bright side for FNATIC, they do see their opponents. Might give them an initiation advantage, but it's 5v5 now, and there's a huge fat gold advantage on OG.
And Jirax needs to go a little bit further up the hill or a little bit further to the north to see it all. Now he'll see the mid. Universe comes forward, able to get a root. Hookshot ball from DJ to try and split the fight up. Pushing Jirax further into that storm. S-Force with the BKB to protect him. The Nova is in the back line, so there is no retreat for FNATIC once they all want to get stunned, which is exactly what happens. They lock it in, turn on the sun, and now Universe will burn. He cannot pull anybody out. He was silent, so there was no escape. Maybe Eternal Envy's able to do it. Strength ball up there. everything he's got, but it's still not enough. One charges are available, but Bear is hovering right behind him. The Spider Fist making it difficult to move forward, but now they just walk it up. The Dragon Tail's unconnect. Eternal Leslie rooted to the ground, brought down, and now it's Arbed's turn. Feared up, they bring in the extra help, a quick swing and a fist. He actually ends up getting no tail, but will lose his life for it. So many players down for FNATIC. They're hoping the Rockets can connect to kill Offset, but won't happen.
Roshan is still the prize on the map, but there's a lot of dead FNATIC here.
Regen? Oh.
It looks like a good, especially Seth getting the regen here. That means a lot of
Dragon Knight dying. Got the hook.
Huge grab there by DJ. That's going to equalize things, equal dead heroes on both sides. Now OG could potentially buy back Dragon Knight right now to go hit up some Roshan or try to pressure some base, but maybe just safer to save their gold?
That's a good question.
That was such an important pick-off. Like, Dragon Knight was on the verge of healing back to full, essentially. Once he got out of the fight, turned off his armlet, he was going to heal back up, but what a grab there. DJ holding the game together a little bit.
Yeah, and this buys time, this buys breathing room more than anything else, and keeping him alive. Like, DJ survived through that fight. Keeps the rocket vision up. They can watch Roshan. So OG, they can't just slip in and take Roshan anymore. It'll cost them too much in their minds.
FNATIC is doing a great job in these team fights. So they're finding the one hero that they can kill easily. It's Sand King. He doesn't have a Yules to protect himself. I slightly wish he picked one up, but I understand his other items, especially what he's up against like Morphling. But if they go on the Sand King, they're chain disabling him, they're dropping Disruptor ulti, and they know that they can kill him. And that is at least going to remove one of the big stuns from OG's side. So Jarex, once he finishes something like his Aeon Disc, yes, that's not going to be nearly as possible, but for now FNATIC has been holding on with what they can.
Yeah, and FNATIC are getting more to defend themselves too. Lotus Orb is what Clockwork's working his way towards. Undor is actually finally going to go in for a disable after he's got the Greaves completed. So all of the sustain items are done. Chivas was on Ember before that fight began, but they're going to have double hexes. They're going to have abilities to catch out these OG cores and potentially make space from Envy, who has been staring down this Skadi for so damn long. He's got BKB and Lincolns on a 42-minute Morphling.
He really did. I think he did have to go for this BKB build. The Lincoln's build, considering their advantage, was also necessary. And if he can pick this up, it's going to give him some good right-click advantage here in these fights.
Good smoke. Look for the target. Rocket gives a little bit of extra vision, but the Rocket appeared in the middle of nowhere underneath the Observer Ward, so they know FNATIC is smoked up looking for the fight, so OG retreat up the hill. Jirex stays close enough to break the smoke part eye, and Jirex must be right on the edge of that range.
Oh, he almost broke the smoke here, but they still don't have the best way to initiate on FNATIC side. It's pretty much just hookshot into follow-ups.
OG smoked themselves. They're drawing the line to wrap all the way around. This is coming from Captain Fly, back up to their Observer and centering, and then FNATIC, do they read this play coming? I haven't seen any pings yet.
I don't think they necessarily, they do actually. If you look at their positioning where Universe is, he doesn't know if they're going to come from the front or the side. He's trying to sit in that frontal point. Everyone else hides in the trees, and OG knows they're there as well. They saw the Fire Remnant go down, so now it's a little bit of a switcheroo here.
Abed, he wants to stay defensive. The next line that got drawn was just to go in through the top lane. They're attacking the mid lane, but here we go. Fortification is up. FNATIC, they know all about the backdooring, and they're going to try and defend against it. They're barely racked. They just can't sustain long enough for it, but they go out for the fight. The Sonic Wave is good. So is the Nova. FB's in a follow-up, and the double barrel strike. Universe just cannot give his team enough to survive through this. The Nova connects. Universe will burn, and FNATIC 3 heroes down. Only one of them has buyback available, instantly used by Universe. A triple kill for Fly. If you question, the Phoenix is working nicely with the rest of the team. An ultra kill for it. Excuse me, Rampage for Phoenix. Please at the front of this fight. Will it go to him? Universe will go down there, giving it to S4. Come on, bro. Stand in the way of this. There's Jirex fighting back. Fly's not happy, but they're attacking into the tier 4 towers. They'll be happy about this. FNATIC more than on the ropes. The Hex is onto Arbed. Run back to the base. Savage roll up, but S4 stuns him in. They have the damage. They have the kill. Or do they? Yeah, instant buyback as well. The tier 4 towers are falling. The tier 4 towers have actually fallen. Open up the Ancient, and OG felt like they were underdogs coming into this game against FNATIC, but they take game 1 of this quarterfinal.
Man, so amazing this game. Like, they made so few mistakes. The only major team fight issues was consistently Jarex being punished by glimpses and